What's up, what's up, what's up? What's up, guys? Your girl Ariana, that cute little brown girl everybody want a little taste of, and I am back with some more ministry advice. So guys, as you guys know, I have been on my faith walk for I've known who God is my whole life, but literally taking this as seriously, it's been about a year now. And honestly, I went cold turkey with a lot of things. I backslid a couple times. I tried to quit a couple times, but I have to be honest with you, I did not give up, even though it seemed so easy to walk away and say, man, forget church, forget Bible study, forget it all. But I have to be honest with you guys, getting out of a spiritual rut is sometimes so difficult. It can literally make a person run either closer to God, or it can make you run far, far away. And trust me, I was far away. I'm talking about so far, I don't know. Literally, for me, my spiritual rut, I felt as if nothing I was doing was working. I felt like literally there was no point of me even opening up my mouth to pray because it's just not working. Like, he's not hearing me. He doesn't. Like, I must have messed up too bad this time. Like, maybe this backsliding moment was just the final straw and God's over me. He's done with me, and I'm just over it completely. I'm coming to my Bible studies because I'm still in a ministry, and I'm coming to Bible study. I'm coming to church on Sunday, but I'm just coming. I don't feel like I'm going to have an expectation. I'm not coming with a mindset of an expectation. When people talking to me, I'm like real bland and cut off because I'm just like, yeah, okay. Eric, can you read? Yeah, sure. And there's no life. I literally felt like I was dying spiritually. I felt like I was just in this hole, and I was just kind of like not feeling it at all. But how did I get out of that? How did I take that moment and really take and look at myself and say, hey, no more. You're gonna get up right freaking now. You wanna know what I did? Hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications, because it's your girl Ari, that cute little brown girl with a little taste of. And if you didn't know, now you know. And if you already did know, I'm here to tell you again. Period. Okay, so listen, when you're in a spiritual rut, it will feel like it feels like you're going through and so let me just make sure that y'all already know me. I'm not about to be blabbering off the mouth without looking in my journal to make sure that the things that I'm supposed to say, that I am making sure I'm on point, because it's so important. Because I know somebody's probably watching this video not because, oh my gosh, Ari, I just love you so freaking much. So kind. Literally, it's because you are coming because you are sitting here and you're like, yo, well, I haven't went through this, but what should I do if I do feel like I'm on the way to it, or I have somebody around me that's going through this? How can I help? This is literally why I'm here, because I feel like I know that God has did some amazing things for me that I have kept to myself, and I have literally not been able to share all the miraculous things that he has done in my life, the attitudes that he has changed, the people that he has brought into my life, the people that he has taken away, the things that he has changed for my perspectives on how I looked at people, or even caring about how people looked at me, but also moving with integrity and not moving shady, and just learning who I am as a woman, someone who is yearning to be a wife, somebody who's a mother already, and I do plan on having more children. So it's like I'm really going through this process and not taking it as, oh, nothing is going my way, but I'm really just self-evaluating. And so when I'm going through this season and I'm taking you guys on this walk with me and showing you guys all these different things I'm learning, my good days, my bad days, my medium days, trying new things, all of these things that make Ari, I want you guys to remember that I would not be here. I would not even be able to turn on a camera if it wasn't for God showing me that my life is not my own, and that I just needed to give it to him, so that way his will, his plan that he had originated from the beginning can come into fruition. So let's go ahead and get started. How to get out of a spiritual rut. Spiritual rut is a periods of stagnant, like feeling like it's a dry spell, like feels like when you're reading, it's checking off a to-do list. Your prayers are brief. Like, Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you. Thank you for waking me up this morning. I'm cool or whatever. I don't know. All right, I love you, God. I'm over it. Good night. Just feeling like blah about your whole entire walk. Like, church. Yes, the Lord is good all the time. All the time, the Lord is good. All right. Amen. You're not sharing your testimonies. God is doing stuff in your life and you're just like, I mean, it don't look like he did nothing. I mean, but like I say in church all the time, literally nothing is too big and nothing is too small for you to share. You waking up is a testimony. Your family being here is a testimony, because we all see with COVID, the pandemic, people's lives were literally changed and nobody had a warning about it. It literally happened and people walked out millionaires and some people walked out homeless. So just be thankful for where you are. Be thankful that you're still here, because it could be worse. And if you're at that place where it feels like, well, it can't get no worse than this, trust me that once you're at the bottom and you feel like you have nothing, you have nothing but God. And that's why we get to these points, because God will do these things to get our attention. But I ain't gonna get into all of that, because I'm trying to tell y'all that's another video on things God will do when he wants to get our attention. I actually did a sermon about this in my church, UMU, and literally when I say it was like mind-blowing, not only because I literally was just in this space where it was like I didn't understand why these things were happening in my life, but before I go there, I'm gonna just stop. Back to the spiritual rut. You find it and for me in my spiritual rut, it was hard to hang out with other believers. Like, I didn't want to be around them. Y'all so gippity guppity, all happy go lucky, and I get it, God good or whatever, but nah, stuff ain't rocking how I want to rock. Like, I don't know how this walk ain't for me, you know. And not really wanting to be around other people. Like, I just really was in a space where it's like, and it made it easier because a lot of my spiritual like friendships and my church is not here in Atlanta physically. So that means that I can easily isolate myself. I don't have to answer the phone. I don't have to put myself on the camera. I don't have to if I don't want to. And of course, naturally, when you're in these moments, this seems like the right idea, the right thing. But we're gonna get into all of that. And on top of that, literally with the spiritual rut, it just feels like you're going through the motions. It feels like I'm supposed to pray, I guess I'm supposed to fast, I don't know. Your heart is not in it. It's like coming to school and coming to work, that moment where you just like, I was excited, got my first couple paychecks, and now it's been a year. This ride is boring. I came to the same Six Flags before. This ain't for me. Literally, these are all the things that I have felt with my spiritual rut. And if I'm being honest, I've had more than one. But I'm going to tell you some things that I did when it came to getting out of that spiritual rut. First, you have to recognize, hey, I'm in this place and I don't want to be here. Hey, I'm in this place and this ain't me. And I just, something's not right. I know I shouldn't have come to church feeling like, people talking about God, I'm like, oh my God, here they go. And to be honest, for all the things God has done to me, I'm surprised he ain't say deuces. And that's why I love him so much, because even in those moments, even when I'm being transparent with y'all, that I can say, yes, this faith walk was so amazing and I'm changing and I'm learning. I literally have moments where I don't feel like praying, I don't feel like doing anything, or I am praying and it's brief, or I'm showing up but I'm not really there. It's like I'm in autopilot. I'm just going with the flow. First and foremost, get the help that you need. And when people say get help, I have to be completely honest. People will say pray. Don't you think that's what I'm trying to do? But literally, God sends the people in your life for this specific reason. So that way, when you need somebody to help, when you have an infection or you have a wound, when you have a cut, they tell you to take the antibiotics. They tell you to get help. You don't just go at home and wrap your own broken leg up. You go to the doctor and you get help immediately. So that way you don't get an infection. You don't catch anything. You just find out what's going on. Even though you can look on Google and Google is telling you that you got, you know what I'm saying, malicociosis, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? Literally, you have to go get help. And sometimes if you can't get yourself out of these ruts, where sometimes that can be from praying and fasting and just, you know, seeking God your own way and just knowing like, hey, God, help me. A lot of times, I know for me, I had to go get help. And that was calling my pastor. That was calling my spiritual covering. That was going to somebody that can pour into me, pray for me when I can't get the words for myself. Because a lot of times, even I'll say, oh yeah, you got to pray. And sometimes God just wants to hear from you. But what happens when you can't get those words out? God has people in your life that you can run to, that you can go to, whether it's your church, it's your grandma who's that prayer warrior, whoever it is. God will send the right people in your life so that way you can go to them to get the help, so that way this infection will not spread. We are going to cut that leg off. We're going to amputate it, whatever we have to do, but this will not spread through your body. Because once you get in that spiritual rut, like I said, it can make you run towards God like, I don't want to be here, I got to get out of this funk, I need help. Or it can make you go, man, forget that, I'm going to the club, I'm hitting the drinks, I need to smoke me a Blizz Naive. Whatever it is for you, however it may be, these are the things that can happen. And so you have to be spiritually aware that even though you're on this walk, even though you might be doing everything perfect, sometimes you will get in a rut, and you have to know how to get out of that. And that's number one, asking for help. 2, prayer. I know I just said that sometimes you can't get the words out yourself, but again, prayer for everybody is different. God knows our wants, our needs, even before we even have them, even before we even understand that that's what we want, that's what we need. And so he literally hears our grunts and our groans. So coming to him, even just like, I don't know, is a start. Because the moment that you acknowledge that something is not right, and you're coming to the doctor, and you're letting the doctor send you the nurses, accountability. You see what I'm going there? You can actually get healed. And in those moments when you come, even if you don't feel, it's like you have to really push yourself to get into a place where it's like, no. Because the enemy, a lot of times will, and when you get in these moments, will try to literally whisper these things in your ear to make you go, well, you in this rut, ain't nobody called you and checked up on you. You in this rut, God ain't answered that prayer you wanted. You in this rut, where your God at now? Where your God at now? Like literally one of them instigators that want you to fight and get bucked up. And that's when you know, okay, wait, pause. I can't stay in this place. I'm not going to stay in this place. I'm demanding a change. And if that's going in the room and crying to God, if that's literally just saying random words, because he knows your heart. So as long as you come to him, as long as you go get the help that you need, because even when you get the help, I've literally called some of my sisters like, yeah, I'm just going through something. And they literally, I'm talking about literally told me, well, I'm going to stay on the phone with you. You pray. Excuse me, ma'am. I don't want to pray because I can't pray for myself. That's why I called you to pray for me. What are you talking about? But literally when I couldn't find the words, I literally first couple minutes like, God, I don't know. And then as I got there, it was just kind of like a diary. God, I'm in this place that I don't want to be. I feel sick. I feel nasty. I feel unsatisfied. I don't enjoy coming to your church anymore. I don't enjoy talking about you no more. I'm mad. I'm upset because I asked for this and this ain't working. But now I'm starting to see, oh, you're angry because you're not understanding his timing. Oh, this, oh, that. These are all little things that God will reveal to you. So when you get the help and you go into prayer for yourself, because everybody else can pray for you as well. But sometimes when you can't get the prayer, you can go to people, they'll pray for you. But you also need to get to a point where you are praying for yourself. Do not put too much pressure on yourself that your prayers do not sound like they should go on a Bishop Jake's, screen, you know what I'm saying? But trust and understand that your relationship with God is so important to him, just you alone. He will literally give up his son, do all of these amazing things, literally just for you. Just for you. Just for me. Just for me. Like literally, it's not, oh, he only loved me because my grandma. No, he loves you because of you. And he will continue to love you. And that's what makes him so amazing, because his love is everlasting. Another thing to get out of these spiritual ruts is fasting. Again, starve your distractions. Stop feeding your flesh. Understand that your flesh only wants to do fleshly things. Your flesh wants to indulge in the world, where your spirit wants to live for Christ. Your spirit wants to walk boldly and share the gospel. So you have to go on fast, and God will lead you to the right fast. A lot of times it can be fasts are different. Some people, I know for me, I used to think fasting was just food, and everybody know in their mama, Ariana love me some food. But I also knew that my love for food, a lot of it was becoming a replacement and a coping mechanism for things when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm bored, when it's awkward. It's not awkward if you got food in your mouth. If we can talk about this chicken wing and how good it is, I can spark some conversations from there. This was my safe, my comfort zone. And literally, when it comes down to fasting, God will reveal to you what he needs you to sacrifice in that time. If that's praying 3 times a day, if that's waking up at 6, praying at 3, and praying again at 6, if it's giving up social media for a couple days, and those times that you would spend on social media reading his book, dissecting his word, you literally have to starve your flesh. So fasting is definitely another way for you to get out of a spiritual rut. And then disrupt your routine. If you've been waking up, church, sermon, this, that, and the other, switch it up. Switch it up. So if you wake up in the morning and you're normally, I read my Bible, maybe this morning, put some gospel music on. The enemy sometimes will put us in these routines. Sometimes we put ourselves in these routines, and then we lose the excitement for it. Trust God, disrupt your routines, and just stop feeding your flesh. Disrupt your routine. Switch it all up. Think about what you could be doing. I could be making TikToks right now, or you could be reading the Bible. I am upset. I could go send this message to him. I am a little lonely. I do miss my baby. Or I could go into prayer and figure out why I'm having this emotion. What triggered this? What is that? Okay, so this show isn't good for me right now. Besides watching that whole grownish episode, I'm on season 4. Yes, I know. Don't talk about me. Yes, I know. I'm late. Okay. But besides watching that whole thing, binge watching it, maybe I could have watched the sermon. Maybe I could have read the Bible. Maybe I could have talked to one of my spiritually accounted friends and told them what's going on, just to get these things off my chest. Because sometimes when we're talking to God, we're like, dang, I wish it was a physical person. But not everybody is somebody you're supposed to vent to. And that's just real on the real. But other than that, guys, this is all the things that you can do to get out of a spiritual rut. These are things that I have personally done. If you have any tips and advice, check down in the comments, as everybody will be sharing different things that they did, different things that helped them, even different videos, sermons that helped you get out of a spiritual rut, because I would love to hear from it. Because it's not something that we're exempt for. When we go on this walk, we are not exempt from distractions. We're not exempt from pain and suffering. We literally are putting a target on our back, because the enemy wants to slow us down, bring us back, and anything to mess you up, throw you off, literally will and can happen. But we have to literally deny ourselves, stand up boldly and say, no more. You get out of here. I just refuse for my video to end like that. So like I was saying, when you're in these spiritual ruts, I just want you to know you're not alone. We are not exempt from these things, but when they happen, we just have to really just really reflect on ourselves. And once you know that something is wrong, you're able to take the right steps on what you need to do and how to fix those things. So don't give up. Don't be upset. Don't be angry. Don't try to run away. Stay strong. Stay at his feet. Continue to just let God use you. Continue to let God guide you, and he will get you out of that rut. And when you feel like you're going into that rut, when you feel like you have a family or a friend going in there, just be a listening ear. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk to. Sometimes we just need to talk things out to realize, like, oh, I'm kind of tripping, because God has actually been looking out for you, girl. But I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification, hit that notification button, comment down below. Team Ari all day, every day. If you didn't know, now you know. Big things popping, little things stopping. And if you didn't know, now you know.